What do you think it says that porn use doesn't seem to be actually that massive of a sexual trigger? It doesn't seem to be triggered all that much by it's triggered by things outside of sex in a way. It's triggered by life circumstances, meaninglessness.
Yeah. So I think this comes down to the neurochemistry. So if we think about addictions, why do we get addicted to stuff? Because of the effect it has on our brain. And so if we think about from an evolutionary standpoint, there are a couple of different things that will suppress our negative emotions and will also give us like a rush of like, let's say, euphoric neurotransmitters. So orgasm is one of these things. So why does orgasm feel really good? Because it's required for the procreation of the species, right? So evolutionarily, when orgasm feels really good, we're going to have more sex, and that'll result in the continuation of the human race. The interesting thing is if you look at actually ancient yogic literature as well, they say that there's this, state of bliss called samadhi, which is sort of the purpose of meditation. And there are a couple of interesting ways that you can get temporary samadhi, and orgasm is one of them. So this also is like one of the reasons that tantric sex is a thing and things like that, which is maybe a conversation for a different day, maybe conversation for today. But I think we've known for a long time. So why is pornography like this? Because orgasm has very specific like activation within the brain. And so now if you kind of think about it, let's say I'm feeling worthless about myself. I'm not doing anything in life. I'm kind of like sitting around, not doing anything. I'm tired of feeling this way. What is a switch I can flick in my brain that lets me forget everything, pushes my negative emotions away, and actually gives me a spurt of positive neurotransmitters, which I'm not sure exactly what happens when people orgasm in the brain. But, and that's why pornography addiction exists. So it's not really about sex.
That's so interesting that you have all of these different coping mechanisms, whether it be binge eating, whether it be alcohol, whether it be cannabis, social media, video games, porn. What we've done is increase the variety of ways that you can hide from your feelings.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And pick your flavor of ice cream for today. What is it going to be?
Yeah. All right. And there people have drugs of choice, which may be due to some amount of genetic vulnerability. But if you really think about it, I think about pornography addiction is the closest to substance use because of its hard hitting like effect, right? So if you think about getting high, there's discrete like chemicals that enter into your brain and like activate certain receptors. Whereas video games are like a little bit more global, but pornography is really, especially that arousal stuff and stuff like that, is a very targeted way to activate your brain in a particular way. More closely resembles a substance.
Downstream from pornography use, have you seen sexual dysfunction? Is this associated?